Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Lauracrapo, and normally I've been doing some. The dog gets excited when I start a video. This is Dr. Disco, and okay, hopefully he calms down. So normally I've been doing these celebrity readings, but I also like have a big interest in like other topics too, and like partly why I was doing those is because they're an example everybody knows of, and so it's when we talk about like life choices and stuff, it's like relatable. Like, Dr. Disco, it's not playtime. It's not playtime. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get through this video by what he's doing. Dr. Disco, come here. Let's just stick. Come. Anyhow, I wanted to talk about nature and like cities and stuff and moving. Wait, hang on one second. I don't know if my dog's like anti-technology, but he's like a disruptor. Okay. Anyway, so I was thinking about this this morning, where like I was kind of like getting a feel for, I live in Montreal, or part of North America, and so I was just sort of getting the vibe off of the land, I guess you could say, and so obviously like people are really concentrated in cities, and I just sort of feel like when you're in an environment, this is what I picked up, okay, like when you're in an environment that's just like all people, you're losing touch with like, just like the critters and the grass and the silence, like the wind, things like that all help to inform you from like a million sides, like sort of like what's up, like not everything needs to be verbal, and not everything needs to be like from another person to be informed on like your next step or like, stuff like that. And so when, let's say people chose to say they were dissatisfied with the city, wait, hang on. What are you doing? I'm acting crazy right now. So you're dissatisfied, or you just feel uncomfortable, or just like not fulfilled and stuff like that. There's a lot of like smaller towns that have a lot going for them, or like let's say you live there, they suddenly have a lot going for them. Okay, he's obsessed with something under the couch, and what are you doing? He knows he's being naughty, and he's kind of loving it. Okay, so let's say you're in a smaller town, right? Even if you're buying a home with like some friends, or however it works to make it affordable, suddenly when you wake up, it's like the sound of birds, and like you can grow your own food, and like there's space to do stuff, and because we have the internet, you're still connected, and it's not like you can never go into a city again. What? I love you. Literally, I feel like a woman. Where's Heaven? Oh, God. I think I have to enroll him in nursery school in the mornings. Okay. So, yeah. So hypothetically, like you could live in the country, and especially if you like you make that move with like 3 of your friends, or and then you've got your community. And there's not that like starting from scratch so much. Yeah, and oh my goodness, yeah. So I was feeling like the land was saying like, okay, there's like too many people in this one area. Like people, like for example, New York City, right? They're building a lot of like really crazy thin skyscraper condos and stuff. Dr. Disco, what are you doing? Anyway, what? He's so quiet most of the time. There we go, play with that. And like, just from my point of view, it'd be like, because I have like vertigo, I wouldn't want to be any higher than the 3rd floor. So it's like, and like, it's not like a safe building. Like, let's say the power went off or something, you'd have to walk down like a lot of floors and stuff. It's like, it's like, it's odd. It's an odd invention, I would say. And if part of like your happiness is feeling connected, like just in general, like being like having more space, being connected to nature, like if there's too much emphasis on connecting with people and it's not giving you joy, like there's other ways to connect in your life, and that is like being in nature and like sort of non-verbal, non-human stuff, like involving nature. I mean, not like computers and stuff, but because you can't like underestimate just seeing like variations in like of the sun on leaves or in the water, and like like things you just wouldn't see if you were in an urban landscape, and like fresher air, like less city noise, like all that stuff like really matters. And it just might be a thing. It might be just like an idea to move somewhere that isn't, let's say it's not like some world famous city. It's like nobody really knows about this town, but it's like this town might be like exactly what you need in terms of just feeling more connected. And he's quiet. I can't believe it. So yeah, so when I was tuning into like the land of like let's say the east coast of North America, south of Canada, because like we don't have that many people up here in Canada, but like there's some big cities there on the east coast all the way down. So it's like don't underestimate like the cool times you could have in the country if you decided to move. And what was the other thing I want to say? Like also, just as a side note, some of the coolest people I've ever met grew up in the country because they just had their imagination and like nature cycles to work through. And like when you have that more time to dream and like not be always interacting with people, you kind of fill that space with your own imagination. And then when you, let's say these people who grew up, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Want your ball? Oh my god, don't go under the couch. This is like a chihuahua nightmare. So right, what was I talking about? Yeah. So like these people that grew up in the country who had time to dream and weren't like always inundated with information from people spending time out in the country, when they do come to the city, their imagination and creativity is like on max, and like maybe they outshine a lot of people that grew up in the city and stuff because they're so original and sure of themselves, right? So I feel like I mean, maybe this is super obvious, but like it was when I was sort of scanning the energy around, I was feeling like it would be maybe a reminder to somebody that like, hey, like you can live in a less crowded place and you can wake up to bird song and sunlight and no sound of cars and stuff like that, and have a wonderful day. And it's not like people just got rid of cities or anything. It's still there, but it's like maybe the majority of your life is like less hectic all of a sudden. And while the notion of making your own like little garden, like food garden or whatever, like might seem boring to some people, like once you start doing that and see results and you taste the food is like so much better and stuff, like then you're like, oh my gosh, like I love this. So, and then while some people might find like the silence of people like unbearable, like just being in your own mind, it's actually like a really good exercise to hear your own thoughts. And like it's that moment that seems boring and unbearable is actually like a great moment of the beginning of like like improvement, healing and improvement. Yeah, this is like a bit more of a random video because my dog is chiming in and stuff. But for those of you who can see past the chaos, maybe it's just like something to think about to take the stress out of all of our lives together, like to not be putting so much importance on living in a city and just how like crazy the city planning is these days. Like it's literally some buildings are just being made out of greed instead of necessity, and they could be even dangerous buildings. Like let's say they fail. I guess I don't even want to like I don't want to get into it too deeply because I don't want to like cite specific things, but you know what I mean. So, whatever. This I'm gonna try to do my next video when the dog is like just come off of a walk and had a good snack. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. And I will talk to you soon. If you have a recommendation for the subject of a reading, feel free to email and I will consider that. Okay, take care of that.